Indonesia is so incredibly beautiful. I'm pretty sure for a good price, a right price, we could convince a lot of these WNBA players to come play a short season here. Look at this awesome move and layup I did. I was like, what was the score, Sandy? Yeah, so don't listen to him and don't watch that video.
Sandy, I need that clip. What's up, basketball fans, and welcome back with me, Rocky Padila. And today we have a special guest, professional basketball player Ace Konig. Ace,
hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Thank you for your time. And Ace, do you have any morning routines while in Jakarta?
I am still on jet lag, so my morning routine actually is super lazy and is just staying in bed until I absolutely have to get up. But it's getting better now. Like today, it was actually quite easy to wake up, so hopefully it gets a little bit better.
Thank you. It's still 9 a.m., guys.
I know it's not early. I 6-hour time change, so I need one or two more days.
Oh, okay, you'll be good. You'll be good. But I'm so excited though today to talk about basketball, of course. And we're gonna start this interview by showing you this photo. Hold on, let me find the photo. Here we go.
Yeah.
This is Sabrina Ionescu.
Yeah.
What can you remember from this game? This is a tough photo right here.
Well, the funny thing is I've known Sabrina for years and years. I think it's 10 years now. We're the same age, and she's also from the west coast of the US. I'm from Canada, but we played against each other a lot. We actually almost went to Oregon together. So we, during the recruiting process, we were both being recruited at the same time. We went to camp at the same time. We played one-on-one, and we were all there. So I played against her a bunch. And now she's skyrocketed to this incredible, and she's a very good player, so very deserving of it. But that's a funny picture because we're both the same age. We were both kind of in the same situation on our national teams where we are one of the younger players. And we were in at the end of the day. Let's not talk about the score of that game.
Okay.
It's kind of like a full circle moment of growing up kind of in the same area, playing against each other. I wouldn't say we're necessarily friends, but we could go as far as colleagues and acquaintances where we have been in the same circles. And then all of a sudden we're both at a World Cup, matching up against each other again so many years later is pretty incredible.
Because you don't want to talk about the score? I just want to ask, how many points did you score though?
Okay, in my defense, I didn't play that many minutes. That's the end of the game. It's a blowout. We both just subbed in. I think I only had 3 points that game, but it was a 3, so it's okay.
It's okay though. And you got another picture with, I think you were shooting over Kelsey Plum as well.
Yeah, another West Coast girl. Actually, I will say she is my friend because we were, again, recruiting to UW, so that's also really funny because she's my mom's favorite basketball player.
Okay.
I'm a basketball player, but she's my mom's favorite.
It's okay though.
I know, she's very good. So
Kelsey is a baller though.
Yeah, I'll accept it.
But you say you almost get recruited by Oregon, almost get recruited by UW and Stanford. What happened to all this school and you finally picked NC State?
Yeah, I think my recruiting process was really crazy. In terms of coming from British Columbia, Canada, it was kind of huge. It's something that we don't see very often. And I think I was contacted at the end of it, and we're counting all schools because Power 12 isn't the only important thing. I think it got down to 140 schools contacted me.
That's a lot of schools.
Yeah, and I think my parents kept a letter from almost every single one of them. One of them does a record. I don't know what they're gonna do with it, but I ended up going to NC State because I went to the campus, and I didn't have super high expectations at the time. NC State wasn't what they are now. They're a powerhouse in women's basketball. They're doing absolutely fantastic, and I'm so proud. But when I went, it was only the third year of Coach Westmore's tenure there, and the year before they hadn't gone to the NCAA tournament. They were struggling in league. We're the bottom middle, and nobody expected me to go there. Everybody expected me to go to Stanford, and then I went there, and it was this is home. energy, the vibe, the campus itself. I was like, this is where I need to be, and then it turned out to be pretty great.
Yeah, I mean, you won ACC championship.
Yeah.
MVP. Just
Yeah.
how was the overall experience that you had at NC State?
Well, my very first year, I broke my foot, so it was a little bit ups and downs, but I had a fantastic time. It was 4 years that I really enjoyed. I felt so comfortable, but also challenged every single day with the basketball aspect. And I would, looking back on it, they say hindsight is 20/20, and I would say that looking back on it, there's not a single place I would rather have been.
Other than NC State.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah, you accomplished a lot over there, but we're gonna go back to the Canadian national team.
Yeah.
I just want to ask you, which one is your more memorable moment? Was it against Team USA or that 10 3-point shots in the U19 World Cup?
Oh yeah, U19. So the crazy. It's neither of those, and this is the craziest thing. So at the U19 World Cup, I had just set a world record against Latvia with the 10 threes in one game. I went 10 for 15. It was a big deal. It apparently had been my mom's birthday and I had forgotten, so she was like, "Oh, thank you so much for dedicating that to me." But
You forgot your mom's birthday?
Granted, I was on huge time change, and we were playing and running around, and the schedule with national team is always so crazy because you have like 2 practices a day, you have meetings, everything. I was also young, so I'm sorry, Mom. I hit 10 threes for you. But the most memorable moment, and it's because I'm a competitor and everything, is the very next game we played against Russia. And I got face guarded and I didn't score a single point for the first time in my career. Like
0 points.
I had 0 points for the first time in my career, and that was the most memorable moment of my entire career, because I just remember being like, I just had the most amazing game ever, and now I'm standing here in the corner getting face guarded, and the time is running out, and I haven't scored a point, and we're losing, and I was like, this is like people were talking about, oh, she's going to be MVP, they're going to win, they're going to do this, and there was all this big talk about how good I was and everything, and then the very next game I don't score a single point, and it was like a real like come back to earth moment. Like you had your like moment, but like basketball is basketball, and stay here, like live in this. And it was that's the most memorable, sadly.
Oh, that's why one of my subscribers told me to ask you about the Russian team.
Yeah. Yeah.
What can you remember from that
your
Russian
research,
team?
Huh? That team, and I can't remember the names off the top of my head, but they had a player on that team who was already projected to go the number 1 or in the top 10 for the WNBA, and she was playing in Russia against WNBA players and with WNBA players, and she was having a fantastic season. And then there was another player on that team who ended up getting drafted to the WNBA the following year also. So they were a very, very good team, very, very talented, but yeah, my feelings were a little bit hurt.
That was crazy though.
That's funny, good research, whoever told them to.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, my subscribers, they know basketball, so they know everybody. And how about WNBA? Obviously, a little bit disappointed, did not make the team with the Washington Mystics, but how can you just tell the audience, because we don't know how tough it is, can you just tell us like how tough it is to make it to the WNBA? Because you did everything in college, and of course the national team too. Yeah,
I mean, the WNBA is a super complicated beast in the sense that they have very few spots, very few teams, and very limited budgets, and fantastic players who deserve quite large salaries. So as a rookie, it can be very difficult, and they're also, when you're building a team, people are also thinking about the chemistry, the roles people are going to play. And I think as a scorer and as a rookie, they were maybe worried a little bit about what role I would play in the team and whether or not I would be able to handle something on the bench. And I mean, I could, but they have to build the best team for themselves, and they have very, very talented players who are already on the floor. You had Elena Deladon, Emma Misaman, you had
Tina Charles.
Tina Charles that year, and and it's disappointing. And if even the coaches are like, you did everything right, it's just not the right time. And it was very, very frustrating and disappointing because, you know, you work so hard and you finally get there. And for a women's basketball player, WNBA is one of the goals always. But I'm also very proud of the fact that I had a chance there and that I made it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, maybe I didn't make the team, maybe I didn't go a whole season, but I still have a jersey with my last name on it that hangs in my dad's office. So, I mean, I'm still very proud of that.
Yeah, that is still a very proud moment though, you know, somebody just to make it. Even in the NBA, if you can make it to training camp, that's like amazing accomplishment. But now you see women's basketball in the US is on another level because of Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese. What do you think about right now the stage of women's basketball?
It's super exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally, I don't watch much men's basketball. I almost watch only women's basketball, WNBA, EuroLeague, all of that. Because as like, you could do like basketball purists, like enjoying like the skills and the tactics of basketball. I think women's basketball is in a really interesting situation where it's extremely entertaining, but they haven't lost that team aspect, that skill aspect. A lot of times when you're watching men's basketball, it ends up being one-on-one, which
isolation.
Which is, they're incredibly talented.
Yes.
They do some fantastic things, but it doesn't feel the way basketball's meant to feel, you know what I mean? So I think we're at this beautiful stage where they're getting the recognition, they're getting the pay, they're getting the celebrations, but it's still true basketball. And I think I hope it stays like that for as long as possible. You never know what's going to happen, but it's like a really beautiful moment for women's basketball and sports, I think.
And right now you told me that you are taking a break
I am.
from playing professionally.
Yeah.
But do you have like an itch of going back, or are you thinking about going back again playing professional, or you have maybe another plan?
I'm not sure if I'm ready to let basketball go. I'm waiting to see what happens with life. Life has changed a lot in the last year. I mean, I just got married. I'm here, which is crazy. I never, like, you know, like, I've been here before, but being in Asia is like a whole another like step across the world, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be able to be here if I was playing, because they're playing right now. Like, I have teammates who have a game tomorrow, like old teammates have games tomorrow. So I wouldn't be able to be here and do those things. So I felt that after 14 years of like grinding, it was like from 12 years old until now, I've been playing almost year round, every single year, very few vacations, very few anything. I was like, it's time to like take a deep breath and figure out what comes next in the sense of what's best for my life and who Aislinn is also, not just Ace, the basketball player.
Yeah, it's nice though to take a break.
Yeah, it is. And I think I also last season was playing through a back injury.
Okay.
So a good part of this is also about letting my body heal a little bit, because I had a decompressed I had a decompressed disc in my back, and I had to do treatment every single day. I was having a hard time sleeping. Like, I couldn't walk long distances. After games, I would literally it would be like I'd be in a seat like this.
Dang.
So I was like, after a full season of back injuries and fighting through a pain, I was like, okay, take a deep breath, let my body and my mind relax a little bit, and we'll see what happens next, where the world and life takes me.
Can't imagine flying with the bad bag.
Okay, this is really embarrassing. So I had to sit on one of those hemorrhoid pillows.
Okay, pillows.
Like, you know, the tube.
Yeah.
So I used to have to bring it out on a plane and blow it up, and people would be and also on the box for it are old people. It's for senior citizens, and I'm sitting there blowing up this senior citizen butt pillow, and then sitting on it, and people are looking at me, and it was so embarrassing.
It's tough though. Flying with a backpack, I've been through that too. It's so tough.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I forget to mention, I wish we have a women's professional out here, because you would be interested, right?
Yeah, of course. If we want to start one, I'll help start one if that's what we need. My business mind is always you know what? Indonesia is so incredibly beautiful. I'm pretty sure for a good price, a right price, we could convince a lot of these WNBA players to come play a short season here. Like maybe not 8 months,
Nah.
but like 3-4 months. I think we could convince quite a few of them to come over here.
I think that's gonna be a good idea. I think
If you want to invest,
yeah, Ace Konig, got it. But I think it would be a great idea, you know, if we have import players for women.
yeah.
I
But
think
you
that would
guys
be fun.
also have a fantastic
Local talents.
local
yes.
talents. Your
Yes.
national team has been incredible. Like they've
Yes.
been playing so well because I follow them and everything. So I think a mixture of your like local talents and then bringing in some. And maybe we don't get the Elena Deladones, but like some of the
You get
middle-
Natasha
yeah.
Cloud.
I think Natasha Cloud would love it here.
Yes.
And I think we could, for 3-4 months, and then tie in maybe like a little trip to Bali or something.
Yes.
And I think they would, for sure, they'd be like, yeah, we're coming.
Or we could play in Bali.
We could.
They got a gym in Bali.
Yeah, that's very true. How do we keep them focused?
That's another thing.
We'll keep them away from Seminyak. We'll only stay in Ubud. We will meditate every day.
But hey, I gotta check if Natasha Cole still follow me or not. on Instagram.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that would be a good idea. I think the hardest thing about women's basketball out here is just to get the fans to
Yeah.
the gym. So we get import players, we got WNBA players. I'm pretty sure they're gonna watch and come to the gym.
I think so. And I think, you know, I went to one of the men's leagues game with Augie when I was here last time.
IBL?
Yeah. And you guys, there was a very good fan support there. And people were very, very excited. And I was like, you know what, like, I think we could do this.
I think so. I feel bad for the women's basketball players
Yeah.
because they are so talented and they're
Yeah.
so good, but they don't have any platform to show their skills.
Yeah, and it would also help them a lot to continue to develop and get that little. There is like a special piece of playing against different opponents all the time from different countries and that, because everybody plays different. You get like an extra little like something to it.
Yes.
Yeah, so that would be super cool. If we need to like manage that, I have connections, so
Yes.
we can try and get that going.
Okay, Perbasi, Indonesian Basketball Federation.
Yeah, please.
This is your girl right here. But okay, back to the question. Is it true that your dad is friend with Steve Nash?
Yeah, it is.
It is true.
Well, I wouldn't say they're like active friends, but
Okay.
they both were in Victoria at the same time. So they used to like, in high school they were friends, and they used to play pickup. So like when I was young, actually, Steve was training in the area, and he needed a training partner, like somebody to come run drills with him, and he ended up calling my dad and being like, "Hey, I heard your daughter plays. Does she want to come work out?" And we were on a road trip going the opposite direction. We were like 6 hours away.
Okay.
And
6 hours driving though.
Yeah, and I was like sleeping in the car, and he gets this call, and he was like, "Who is this?" And he was like, "It's Steve." He was like, "Steve?" And he's like, "Yeah, like Steve Nash." And he was like, "Oh, oh my God, yeah, hi." Like, I haven't seen you since you got famous. Like, you know what I mean? And he was like, "Yeah, does your daughter want to come and work out?" And he was like, "Yeah, hold on, I'll get back to you." And then so he hung up, and then my mom's in the passenger seat, and he's like, "Do we turn around?" And she was like, "We can't turn around. We're so far, we'll never get there in time." And he was like, "I could drive really fast." And she was like, no, just don't tell her. So they didn't tell me, but luckily the next week when we came back, he was still there, and he was like, "Hey, like I'm still here, does she want to work out?" So I ended up going and working out with him at SFU, like the university, and Simon Fraser's University there. And like we worked out a little bit together, and we worked out a little bit apart, and I just remember in my household, Steve Nash was like a deity, like he was everything, because my dad was like, "Oh, I knew him," and had all these stories, and was like, he used to always walk around with a basketball, so I used to always walk around with a basketball. And I remember meeting him, and he was like, "Hi, it's nice to meet you." And I was like, "Hi." And he was like, "What position do you play?" And I was like,
Same position.
"All of them." Because I was young, so you just play, like,
Yeah, that's
I was like, "I play all of them." And he was like, and I just kept shaking his hand, and he was like, and I was like starstruck. And then he looks at my dad, and he was like, my dad was like, "Okay, stop that." Like, time to work out. So yeah.
So are we talking about Phoenix Suns Steve Nash or Dallas Mavericks Steve Nash? Or which Steve Nash are we talking about?
It
when you
was-
met him?
Honestly, I think it was he had already like stopped, like he was at the end of his career.
Okay.
So it was like he was coming to stopping.
Okay.
So, but he was just kind of in the area and wanted to work out. I mean, I don't think basketball players ever quit playing basketball. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh my God, that was an awesome experience though. But right now I want to ask you though, does Sonny play basketball too?
He tries.
Did he ever play one-on-one with you?
He has, yes.
Oh wow.
Okay, I want to make something very clear. I'm a good wife. And I don't play at 100% against Sandy because that would hurt his feelings.
So did you let him win?
No, never. He has never won. But he has a video
Okay.
of him doing a layup on me. Like going and doing a layup. We were outside, it was raining, and he hadn't scored the entire time. And his friends just happened to be taking a video for the one layup he scored against me. And now he uses that as like, he's like, look, I scored a layup. Like to everyone who asks him, it's like, look at this awesome move and layup I did. I was like, what was the score, Sandy? Yeah, so don't listen to him and don't watch that video.
Sandy, I need that clip.
He will 100% send it to you. It's like his favorite thing to do.
I need to put it on this video so we have proof.
But he refuses to play football with me, huh?
Oh, okay.
He refuses, because I used to play before basketball. I used to play football, and he refuses. He's like, no, we're not doing that, because if you like nutmeg me or something, he's like, I'm gonna be so upset. We're not gonna talk for a couple days, so we're just.
But let's go back to the layup though. Is it like more like a stiff layup, or is it like more like
Oh,
he almost tapped the board layup?
The form is terrible. It's and it's shot from a distance. You can barely tell it's us.
Okay.
So, but yeah, let's not feed that propaganda that he can play basketball.
Because he's a fan of James Harden. Was it like
Yeah, he
Eurostep?
tried.
Was it like
He
Eurostep
tried.
layup or?
I've had to teach him a lot of the footwork and the movements. He's not used to using his hands, so.
Oh yeah.
So, but if you want, there is a video on his YouTube where we play one-on-one, and I very obviously win. So, if you need proof of that.
But like I said, he was a James Harden fan. Is he a Clippers fan? Because I am a Clippers fan, so I hope Sandy's a Clippers fan.
I'm sorry to break your heart. It's just a James Harden fan. I know.
Are you a fan of any NBA team?
This is really funny. My favorite all-time basketball player ever is Magic Johnson. But my favorite team ever is the Celtics.
That is it's so weird. I never heard that before.
I know. But like team-wise, but you have to think also like in terms of greatest of all time. That's not like a question, whatever. But I enjoy the fun that Magic brings to it. Obviously, he played way before I was ever cognizant. But when you watch. I remember they do the NBA like legacy ones, and I would watch it and I'd be like, who is that? That's incredible. It was special. But then I grew up in the time of the big three at Celtics.
Okay, 2008.
Yeah. So for me, that was like the most incredible basketball. So people are always like, you can't. That's not allowed. And I'm like,
So
I
Ray
think it's
Allen,
okay.
KG, and Paul Pierce, huh?
Yeah. So that was like my big three when you would watch like.
But what about today though? I mean, like they got Jalen Brown, they got Jason Tatum.
I know, but I mean, but it was special. I don't know, because I love the skills and the tactics of basketball, and back then it was just so much more interesting to me. I would say it was so much more entertaining. Now it's still super entertaining.
Yes.
It's still that, but it's more one-on-one. It's if one guy has a bad night. The team struggles,
Yeah, sure.
you know, and that's a little bit, that is interesting for me.
But do you get nervous though when you watch Sandy play for the Indonesian national team?
Oh my gosh, yes. I get so nervous. And like, I don't get nervous when I play basketball. When I'm getting up ready for a game, I'm at the point now when I'm playing, I don't get nervous. So it's not very often that I have that, like, the butterflies and that. But when Sandy is playing, like, I'm like up in my seat like this. I'm like rocking back and forth. I'm sitting there like that. And I mean, I think there's a couple videos of me and my reactions that have like
Gone viral?
Yeah, always. And I'm just like, I'm making the craziest faces, but I have to like, I'm here in person now, so I have to like.
But you forgot though sometimes, right?
I know. I'm gonna be like getting up and yelling and stuff. It's gonna. Yeah, don't watch the game. Don't watch me. I'm gonna be crazy.
Okay. Sandy is one of the most popular players right now in Indonesia. And are you guys okay with getting a lot of like the media attention? You guys being interviewed a lot. You know, we could call you probably the media darling right now of Indonesia.
Yeah.
You guys okay with that?
Yeah, I think something that's really special about Indonesia is that the fans are incredibly positive. Like, you don't get like hate comments. Like, you know, like sometimes in like North America, you get like hater fans who like just want to hate on you. Like, you never get that here. And it's like, at least we haven't experienced
Not yet.
Don't start, please. I'm sensitive.
Okay.
No, but they've all been super sweet. The messages are always encouraging and everything. So it never feels overwhelming. Sometimes like videos will go viral and we have no idea how people got these videos or where they got them from. You guys find everything, and we'll just be in awe of how much it goes. And sometimes like now it's gotten to the point like I'll post like a post on Instagram and then I put my phone away because I don't get I don't even have my notifications on, but I'm like I need to let it like do its thing, and then I'll come back to it in a couple of days just because it's so much. There's so much support and love that it's hard to keep up with sometimes.
Yeah, because if you turn on your notification, you're gonna drain your batteries.
I know.
Because it's gonna be a lot of notifications.
It'll just be pinging the entire time.
The entire
it's crazy.
time. So now we're gonna answer a couple questions from Instagram.
Beautiful. Let's do it.
The first one is everybody asking this: if you guys have a kid, will you want that kid to be a basketball player or a football player?
Okay, well, first of all, we're a ways away from having a kid.
Okay.
We're enjoying being married, for the record, before rumors start. But I think we would just let them choose whichever they're most interested in, even if it's tennis or something else. I think the reason why me and Sandy are so good at our sports is because we chose it ourselves and we really love it, and we want to give that option to the kids. I started in football and moved to basketball. Sandy started in tennis and moved to football. So I think, you know, having that choice is what makes people love it, and we wouldn't want to take that away from it. But personally, I hope they play football.
Okay, so football.
And Sandy hopes they play basketball. But it's just because we grew up in the separate, so that we want to like experience the other side.
Okay.
But yeah.
That's true. Okay, and what is your favorite shoe of all time? Your favorite basketball shoe of all time?
So this is really my very first basketball shoe will always be my favorite, and they were like the old like remake version of the Converse weapons that Larry Bird used to wear. They weigh like a ton. Like, it's crazy. Like, you think the LeBrons are heavy, get your hands on some Converse weapons. Those things were like truly you could use them as a weapon. It was like a brick. But they were my first basketball shoe, and I remember seeing them and being like, those are so cool. I need them. And my dad was like, are you sure? And I was like, they were like the black with the white star, like the cutout white star, like not plastered on, and then like the green sole. And I was like, oh, I need them so bad. And everybody was like, what are you wearing? And I was like, these are sick. I'm gonna be just like Larry Bird.
Oh, you want to shoot like Larry Bird? You shoot like Larry Bird, probably.
I mean, maybe that's why I took it from the shoes.
And there's a question: is what is your biggest fear?
Yeah.
And how do you overcome it?
Well, like my biggest phobia, I'm like claustrophobic, so I don't think that like applies. I think maybe the biggest fear that like you have to overcome is like, I think all competitors and I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, like, is like the fear of failure.
Okay.
And, you know, a really, really good quote, and I might misquote it, and I'm like 90% sure it was Magic Johnson, because I used to have all these quotes like taped to my wall. It was like, if you're afraid to fail, you don't deserve to succeed.
That's a good quote.
Yeah, and I'm like, I hope that's him, because that was like my favorite one. It was like right in the middle. And you know, I think it's understanding that failure is part of the process of success, and you have to let go of the need of control of that and let yourself go through that. So that, I think that would probably be the most applicable to that. But otherwise, don't stick me in a really small elevator.
Space.
Yeah.
There's some space, you know.
That's why I'm an outside shooter.
That's true. That's true. That's valid right there. And how does it feel to have a funny husband like Sandy?
Okay, I'm his wife, so I probably don't find him as funny as everybody else does, because I have to deal with him. But no, he's wonderful, and it's honestly one of the reasons that I fell in love with him. He's a very easygoing, happy person, and he always finds the humor and the light in things, and that really like lightens the load for somebody like me who is a perfectionist. It makes things more easy and fun all the time. Like, he's always looking for the fun.
But he's natural though, you know. All his contents are so funny though.
I know. Every other day there's a new viral video, and he's like, I'm like, and I'll tell him, I'm like, people are messaging me that this is going viral, and he's like, yeah, I know. And then every day it's the same conversation. He's like, yeah, this one now too. And he's a little bit embarrassed by it, like, because he doesn't expect people to love it so much. So he's always like, very like touched by it, and he's like, loves it so much, but he's also like, why?
But it's good though. Everybody loves him.
It is. It is.
And the last one, who is the most annoying person you know?
My husband. For sure. He's funny, but imagine you have to deal with that every day. No, that's a joke between us, because I'll be, oh, you're so annoying, and he'll be, and he's like, and he loves it. Like, he likes pushing my buttons. So I have to say Sandy. Nobody else is around me enough to annoy me.
You know who asked that question, right?
Who? You?
No,
Sandy. See, he likes to push my buttons.
He wrote it on my question box.
See, he knows.
Yeah, he's so funny. That's why I was surprised when I was like, oh, okay.
Of course, he likes to push the buttons, you can see.
Yeah. Ace, thank you so much for your time. It's been so much fun.
It has been.
Yeah, it's just great conversation.
Yeah.
And good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Hopefully, we're gonna see you back in Jakarta again. And start that women's basketball league out here.
Yeah. I mean, if you support it, you should comment under the video and tell, so that people can see it, and then we'll get the investors, and then we'll have a fantastic women's league here.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
So guys, thank you so much for watching as well. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the interview. And thank you once again, Ace. Appreciate you so much. Yeah. And we'll see you guys again next video. Peace out, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.